Welcome to day 7, the final day of our challenge. Today's flow is just going to be an all-around nice stretch. I'll meet you on your mat. We're going to start sitting on our heels. Start to notice where your breath is at. Lengthen your inhales and exhales to start to slow your heart rate. Today's practice is going to be pretty gentle and relaxing. We're going to start with a big inhale as we take our arms to the sky. Have our palms meet at the top, and then exhale as we bring the hands through heart center. Big inhale again, arms to the side, palms meet, and exhale, hands to our hearts. Plant the left hand next to the legs and exhale as you reach across, opening up that right side, leaning over this lateral stretch of the spine, trying to keep the chest open. Then as we collapse the chest towards the floor, we're going to move through center and swing over to the other side, planting the right hand, letting the chest collapse on the right side, then opening the chest towards the front, the top of the mat, and then feeling the lateral stretch on the left. Take a moment here and rise back up on an inhale. Now as we take the left arm over, lateral stretch, start to curve out the back, C-curve chin to chest, and swing over to the left side again. Right arm is now on top. Open the chest up towards the top of the mat to stack the shoulders. And then on an inhale, rise back up to a nice tall seated position. Take some big shoulder rolls, just opening up the chest, rolling whichever direction or both you would like. Then plant the hands in front, tuck the toes, and walk back to a forward fold. Just loosen up here. Try to keep your knees bent as this is just a gentle stretch. Opening up the back of the hamstrings, you can hang heavy. Grab opposite elbows for a ragdoll fold, just doing whatever feels good. Inhale to come halfway to a flat back, hands to knees or shins. And exhale to fold forward. Let the top of the head hang heavy. If you have a block, you can grab it for this next part, but it's not necessary. We're going to take the right hand to the floor or to your block or to the fingertips. Bend into the right leg, tee out the arms, and twist open towards the left. So left leg is straight, right arm on the floor, right leg is bent for this twisted fold. So test out the block or test out on the floor, see what works best. You can always bend more into the right leg to find where this really feels like a good twist, a good stretch. It opens the hips and the chest. Then we're going to take the left hand and do the other side. So bend into the left leg, twist open the right hand fingers to the ceiling, and twisting open towards that other side, teeing out the arms. Exhale to come out of the twist. Remove the block if you've been using it. Feel free to wiggle out your forward fold, and then we're going to walk the hands forward to come into a downward facing dog. So hands are about shoulder width apart, and we can take a generous bend in the knee here, reaching the heels towards the floor and trying to find a nice flat back, extending the spine and relaxing the neck. Adjust until it feels right. Then take a 3-legged dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. We're trying to keep the toes pointed towards the floor, so closing off the hips and keeping them square, keeping the weight even in both hands. Stretching, and then go ahead and open the hips so you can take the hips open to that side. Bend off the leg for a nice scorpion stretch, but again, keeping the weight even in the hands. Just feeling a nice open hip here. Stretching, then come back to 3-legged dog. Back to your closed hips, square to the floor, and exhale as you bring the foot back to meet the mat. Take one round of breath to walk out your dog, alternate bending and straightening the legs. Then we're going to inhale, 3-legged dog, left leg to the sky. Toes are pointed down towards the floor, hips are square, even weight in both hands. Then go ahead and release the hips, open up to that side, take the leg a little bit higher, and bend the leg into that scorpion stretch. You can feel the stretch in the quad and the hip on this side. Nice and open. Bring the leg back to three-legged dog. Close off the hips, square them to the mat, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. Exhale into a wide-legged child's pose, so knees are about at the edges of our mat, big toes to touch. Settle the bum against the heels and extend the arms out long, settling the chest towards the mat, making sure our breath is nice and even. Walk the hands over to the right side of the mat so that our torso is hugging that right thigh. Still trying to sink the chest low down to the mat. On an inhale, come back through center and walk the hands over to the left side, hugging that left thigh. Forehead still reaching down towards the mat and lengthening out through these arms. On an inhale, walk the hands back towards center, settling the chest down, and then exhale to plant the elbows and bring the weight forward. We're going to creep forward into our Sphinx pose, bringing the belly to the mat and the thighs to the mat, untucking the toes and bringing our weight up onto the elbows like we're trying to pull our chest through our shoulders. Activating the back and lengthening out the spine. Plant the right hand in front of your chest, reaching back with the left. We're going to take hold of our left foot and try to squeeze that heel to our bum. So we're stretching the left thigh and the front of the left hip, trying to keep the torso lifted, chest off of the floor. You can use your foot in the crook of your elbow or keep hold of it with your hand, whatever feels best. And then gently release that side. Take left hand in front of you to support and take the same thing on the right foot with the right arm, trying to keep the chest lifted. Really squeezing to stretch out that thigh and hip. Trying to see if you can touch the heel to your bum. Breathing here, sending nice big breaths, and then slowly exhale and gently release. Inhale to prepare. We're going to take our hands about beneath our shoulders, and as we exhale, see if we can tuck the toes, push up into our high plank. Strong arms and core, and then push all the way back into our downward facing dog. Hips come high. Inhale, come high onto the toes. As you exhale, see if you can jump the feet up to meet the hands, roll into a little ball, and then roll all the way onto your back. Settle onto the back and go ahead and take a big hug of the knees, holding onto the shins, and then let those legs fall off the right side of your mat. You can tee out the arms or take cactus arms depending on how much room you have. We're going to take our gaze over the left side of our mat, so we're in this nice supine twist. I like to place my hand on top of my legs to make sure they're twisting that way and keep both shoulder blades on the mat, so you get the biggest benefit out of this reclined twist. Gently bring the knees back through center and let them fall off the other side of the mat. The left hand can hold the knees down towards the floor, and our gaze goes over the right shoulder. Keep both shoulder blades glued to the mat. We want to feel this across that right hip and a nice gentle twist in the spine, breathing deep into those areas. Help the knees come back to center. Give everything a big squeeze one more time, curled up into a ball. And then exhale as you let everything relax down to the mat. Find the best position for your body to take your Shavasana, relaxing everything as much as you can, closing off the eyes if you're comfortable, and staying here as long as you have time for. This is the part of yoga where we get to reset our nervous system and find some stillness in our body after we've been moving on our mat. So take all the time that you need. Thank you so much for flowing with me. I hope you've enjoyed this challenge and learned some new things. I look forward to having you back for another class soon. Namaste.